Before today's video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest videos. If you want to see a case or topic covered by Paranormally Listed, then go to criminallylisted.com and fill out the questionnaire under the Suggest a Case tab. Number 3. The Gokwe Mermaids. Gokwe is a large town in Zimbabwe, a country in Southeast Africa. The town has a population of around 33,000. In 2012, local workers were constructing a new reservoir for the area. A reservoir was needed for fresh water for drinking and farmland. But then the workers refused to work. They claimed that they had seen mermaids, and the mermaids had sabotaged their equipment. Mermaids play an important role in the folklore of Zimbabwe and Africa. Many people in Zimbabwe do not think that they are mythical creatures. Instead, they are sure they exist. Zimbabwe's spiritual beliefs are a mix of Christianity and traditional African beliefs. In their culture, mermaids are mischievous water spirits that wreak havoc in the water. They especially like dams and reservoirs. In some versions of the mermaid mythology, they usually target men. There are stories of mermaids pulling people underwater, but those people may not be doomed. If their loved ones do not cry on shore, then they will be returned to the surface. But if the person is not returned and their family does not mourn them properly, the victims return to land as spirits. There have been many sightings of mermaids in reservoirs and dams in Zimbabwe. People have seen them lure animals and children into the water and drown them. One incident in 2017 made headlines in the country. 2 boys in Gokwe drowned under mysterious circumstances. The boys were herding cattle near the Pachamarovi Dam. Witnesses said the boys saw a big fish and went to grab it. Then a mermaid pulled them into the water. At first, the boys managed to free themselves. Then the boys' parents arrived, and they cried because their sons had nearly died. Suddenly, the boys were pulled back into the water by the mermaid, and they drowned. The police investigating the case couldn't find any solid leads, but the witnesses swear that mermaids killed the boys. In 2012, when people stopped working on the reservoir, Samuel Sepepa Nakoma, the country's Minister of Water Resources, Development and Management, addressed the Senate. He said, quote, "I do not believe in mermaids, but the community that lives in the area does," unquote. Project managers even attempted to hire other workers to continue the work. The men, who were described as being white, did not have previous knowledge of the mermaids, but they stopped working because they claimed they had seen the mermaids. The Gokwe Reservoir wasn't the first project that was halted after a suspected mermaid invasion. Mermaids supposedly shut down another dam project in the eastern town of Mutare. In this case, divers vowed never to return after investigating pipe blockages. The project only resumed after local healers conducted a traditional dance and brewed special beer as an offering to the mermaids. The workers of the Gokwe project took a similar route, ensuring the project restarted. It was finally completed in 2016, 6 years after the project started. Number 2. The Kiryat Yam Sightings. Kiryat Yam, a quiet Israeli town near the banks of the Mediterranean Sea, made headlines in 2009 for sensational reasons. Locals and tourists flocked to the beach because there had been mermaid sightings. Over several months before sunset, a half-woman, half-fish creature performed tricks and then disappeared into the water. One of the first people to see the mermaid, Shlomo Cohen, said, quote, "I was with friends when we suddenly saw a woman lying in the sand in a weird way. At first I thought she was just another sunbather, but when we approached she jumped into the water and disappeared. We were all in shock because we saw she had a tail," unquote. There were so many sightings by many different people in the area that the local government got involved. They offered a reward of $1 million for photographic proof of the creature. NBC film crews set up cameras on the beach for a week, filming day and night and underwater. In one instance, cameras caught a human figure appearing only to dip back into the water and disappear. The film crew chased the figure but could not catch it. The team sent the footage to the Center for Coastal Ocean Research in Los Angeles, California. The center's director, Michael Schadt, reviewed the footage. Although he could not definitively say it was a mermaid, he said it could be a viable option. However, the reward also garnered negative attention. The Mermaid Association in Brooklyn, New York threatened legal action in the International Court of Justice for, quote, badly and outrageously damages to the legendary mermaid legacy, unquote. Over 15 years later, the $1 million reward has yet to be claimed. Number 1. The Kaiwi Point Mermaid. In the spring of 1998, 43-year-old Jeff Leitcher was running Jack's Diving School, a scuba and snorkeling tour company in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. On April 12, 1998, Leitcher and his crew took 6 people out for a diving expedition. As they headed out to their diving spot, a school of dolphins began to follow the boat. Leitcher said, quote, suddenly, one of the men on the port side starts yelling and pointing. I couldn't believe what I saw. There, not 10 feet from the bow, was what looked like a nude woman. She had long, flowing hair and one of the most beautiful faces I've ever seen. But there's no way a human being could swim so fast. She was keeping right up with the dolphins. Then she leapt into the air, and my heart almost gave out on me. The entire lower half of her was covered with scales and tapered back into a huge fishtail. She jumped once more, then disappeared under the surface. The other 10 people on board also saw the mermaid. They continued to make their way to an area in the ocean known as Kaiwi Point for their diving expedition. It took them about an hour to reach the spot. Then they started diving. Leitcher had an underwater camera with him. Leitcher said, quote, suddenly I felt something brush against my right leg. She shot by me like a streak of lightning and then turned and came back past me, swimming the other way. I just aimed the camera and started snapping pictures, unquote. Leitcher had the photographs developed, and one of them showed a shadowy figure of a mermaid. The story in the photo caught the attention of the tabloid, the Weekly World News. They said they had 3 independent photography labs inspect the photo. They said that the photo had not been tampered with or altered. Some people point to this photo as evidence that mermaids exist. However, not everyone is entirely convinced. Do you want to help solve a cold case? If you do, we have some exciting news. We're teaming up with a very well-known DNA and genetic genealogy company to solve a cold case. In a few weeks, we'll release a video with more details about the case we'll help solve. We'll be doing this through YouTube memberships. Half the money we receive will go to funding DNA testing and genetic genealogy, which will hopefully help solve the cold case. We have 2 membership levels, and both will help solve the cold case. But you'll also get more perks with your membership. With our lowest membership, you'll get loyalty badges, exclusive emojis, early access to videos, and a 15% discount on merchandise. With a higher membership, you'll get all those perks, plus an extra 10% off merch, an exclusive members-only video every month, and you'll be able to vote on the video's topic. What we think the most important aspect of the membership is to help solve the cold case. Once the case is solved, we'll do a video about it, and, with your permission, we'll have your name or username appear in the credits. This is your chance to change from a passive observer to an active participant in solving a murder. With your help, we hope to bring a killer to justice and give a family some closure. Not only will you help solve a cold case, but you'll also be supporting this channel as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. please keep an eye out for a video about what crime will help solve. In the meantime, if you're interested in membership, please sign up so you can get early access to videos, the exclusive members-only videos, and other perks. Once again, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. If you did find it interesting, please make sure you subscribe. We'll have a new video about the paranormal every week. If you just discovered this channel, please make sure you check out our other channel, Criminally Listed. We have over 325 videos featuring bizarre but true crime stories. You can find it at youtube.com/criminallylisted. We also have a podcast about cold cases that were eventually solved called Criminally Listed Presents Into the Killing. You can find it on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you find great podcasts. But that's all for today. Thanks again for watching.